Hello, hello, hello.
All right, good afternoon. So I hope everybody had a good lunch, right? You had a light lunch? Well, I see most of the food there is over, so I guess that was your lunch, right? Okay, when are they going to bring some more? Snack time. All right, so what we're going to do this afternoon is you understand that the biggest part about being an owner of a business is you are most of the time, you're also the manager. Yeah? So if you are both owner and you are also a manager, there's one very important thing called, can anybody tell me what that is? Yeah? You already decided to do the business. You plan to do the business, but planning doesn't stop. Planning is continuous. If you're running a business, you got to keep planning. Can you name me the plans? What is the most important plan? Very good. After that. Sorry? Yeah. So if you run a business, you have to make many plans. Yeah. You cannot just do one plan only. You need to consolidate, you need to aggregate, and you need to link all plans together. Yeah. So many times business owner don't know how to plan. If you don't know how to plan, please don't be a business owner. You understand what I mean? Go and work for somebody else. Don't work for yourself. It's very dangerous if you don't know how to plan. I mean, I don't want to sound very offensive, but many business owners just don't know how to plan. They just take every day as it is. You know, just keep doing something and hoping that things would work out. Sometimes it does. Yeah, but most of the time it doesn't. So, sales plan. Now, what is a sales plan? There's always two types of businesses. Two types of business. Either you sell a product or you sell a service, right? Who do you sell to? Who do you sell to? Who do you sell to? You sell your product or you sell your service to your customer, right? So you need to know, when you're doing your sales plan, you need to know your target customer. You need to know your target dollar value of sale or the quantity of the product that you're going to sell. Now, when we talk about planning, I do not like 5-year plan. 5 year is too far away. Yeah, I care about the next 12 months. So your plan should be at least 1 year. You run your 1 year plan for 2-3 years and see how good you are. Because if you don't know how to plan, you plan to make sale of 8 million, but end of the year you only do 4 million. Means what? Your plan is not effective. Your planning is not effective. If you cannot plan to achieve 70%, you have big problem. We cannot be 100% right, but you must at least be 70% right with your plans. You understand what I mean? So many people in Vietnam very good at doing paperwork. Paper can look very attractive, look very good, but cannot implement. No execution. So sales plan, my advice to you is always plan for the next 12 months only. And when you have done that planning cycle for a few rounds and you know your plan and your actual is getting very close, and then you say, hey, I think I'm good at this. Then you do a 3-year plan. Don't do 10-year. Don't do 5-year. Wasting time. Not relevant. Why? Because market will change. Market conditions will change. Don't think tomorrow is always better than yesterday. It's not. Yeah. So please be realistic. Yeah. Don't be very ambitious. Don't be very aggressive. Be conservative. If I do better, hey, great. But what is realistic? What is realistic is make sure I don't lose money, which is I'm going to teach you how to check, okay, how to make sure you don't lose money. Now, that is your sales plan. But how do you bring your sale? You need to know how you're going to sell. Yes, I want to sell 1 million unit. Okay, how are you going to sell? Tell me. Very important. Means you need to know what method, what approach, what style of marketing you're going to do so that you can get your potential customer to buy your product or service. Because marketing and sales go together. Which come first? Marketing and sales go together. Which one comes first? Of course, marketing. Why? Because marketing is trying to find a customer for your product or service. So many a time, if your marketing plan is bad, you will have bad sales and you will have bad financial results. So if I am the boss, and Mr. Tuan, you're going to be the boss very soon, very, very, very important, your marketing plan. Yeah? If you don't get your marketing plan right, your business is screwed. Do you understand what I mean? So many a time, the engineer boss, very good engineer, suddenly think, oh, marketing is easy. I'm good in my work. So I don't need to do marketing plan. I know what to do. That's when you get into trouble. Don't believe you know everything. You don't. Yeah, the world is changing a lot. There's a lot of competition. So this is how companies create an advantage for themselves through their marketing. Yeah, so if you're strong in marketing, then I think you have very good opportunity to become a successful business owner. Yeah, so this is very important. Your marketing comes next. The third one is operations, how you manage the internal production, the internal process, the internal performance of all the people that work within your organization. Because if you don't know how to manage them, if you don't know how to monitor them, and if you don't know how to measure them, you are going to lose a lot of money. M. Manage, monitor, measure will always give you money. That is your internal organization, actually. Then you have human resource, having the right people for the right job to give you the right level of performance so that you have the right result. Result means what? You are profitable. Yeah. So many times people don't find the company or the boss don't know how to select the right employee, or they know. They say, okay, who's the cheapest? I hire them. They look at the salary cost. Yeah. They don't think, okay, if I get this smart guy, he is going to give me more benefit than the cost. You understand what I mean? They don't hire the right person for the right job. Why? Because they don't know how to interview. They don't know how to select. They don't know what question to ask. Okay, big mistake, because who is the business at the end of the day? Business is the people. 3P plus 1. You know what they are? Product, process, people equal profit. You have the right product, you have the right people, you have the right process, means you should make a profit. So don't neglect this part, the people part. So this one here is people. This one here is process. This two here is product and price. And this one here is profit. They all go together. Yeah, they all must be aligned. All your plans must be aligned to each other. Clear or not clear? This is simple enough, right? So, but it's simple enough, yet many entrepreneurs do not follow this very simple approach. So you cannot just do finance plan only. You cannot. There are so many plans you need to do. So pick the right people to do the right plans. Otherwise, your plan will be lacking. Your plan will be less effective because prepared by somebody who has no experience, no knowledge, no expertise. You have a stupid plan, you get a stupid result. Okay? So if you combine all these things, your performance will give you your desired result. Okay? If you get all your plans right, end of the day, your performance will give you the right result, which is of course the profit, but it takes everybody to combine together, which is what? Product, people, process will ultimately give you the profit. It doesn't just come from the product only. Every business, when you analyze how they make money, they can only make it from 3 areas. Their product is good, their process is strong, and their people are very, very good. Yeah, that's how they're able to deliver superior performance. All these top companies, if you analyze why is it they do well, they're good in all the P. Yeah, they're good in all the P's. They tick the boxes on all the P's. So my best advice to you as an entrepreneur is not just having an idea, not just about intelligence. You learned in the earlier session how to decide how much to invest, how you're going to get your money. This is implementation. Everything we're doing now, this is all implementation. For implementation, planning becomes very important. If you don't know how to plan, you will fall short of expectations. So I'm going to give you a simple exercise on how to prepare a sales plan, okay? So just hang on. All right, so please read this exercise, okay, and tell me what will be my sales. Okay, of course, I'm giving you the solution, but the most important thing is I need to know my target customer. I need to know my target price and my target quantity I'm going to sell, because price times quantity equals sale. So many a time we need to estimate three things. Who is the customer? How much my customer is going to buy? And what is the price I'm going to charge them for the product that I'm going to sell? So I've given you a simple illustration here. I'm going to give you a few minutes to look at it, and then I'm going to test you. right, so I have put on the board here the numbers that you should be getting, because I'm sure all of you know how to calculate. Now, calculation aside, what is important here? What is important in this exercise? What's most important in this exercise? Or should I say, what is the most difficult? What's the most difficult part of this exercise? Estimating the what? Yes, estimation. This is one estimate. This is another estimate. Now this is estimate. This is also estimate. How do I know it's going to increase? Yeah, we always plan for increase, but sometimes increase don't happen. They don't just happen like that. So this part here requires some experience, some skill, some knowledge about the business. We don't just throw a number because it looks good. Yeah, we cannot plan based on unrealistic assumptions. Okay, so you're going to have to make sure whatever percentages you use here to calculate the units are realistic and achievable. Now, I am a third party. I look at this. I look at your sales plan. The first question I should ask, what is that? What's the first question I should be asking? Yes, I must ask you, please share with me your historical data. This is for the year 2018. Show me what you did in 2017. Yeah, show me what? Show me your month by month sales in units. Okay, I show you. You show me, all right. January, 4,000. February, 3,800. All the way down, I get average. The average for 2017 is 4,850. And then I ask you, wow, 4,850 you did in 2017. Now suddenly in January, you have 8,000. Sit down. We need to talk. Explain to me why your actual in 2017 is half of what you are planning to sell in 2018. What suddenly made you a super salesman? How come you can plan so well? Now, I'm not saying 8,000 is wrong. I'm asking you to always challenge yourself that the number is realistic. Yeah, it must make sense. But when I look at it like this, definitely it does not. It asks more questions than give me answer. So if their actual last year was 4,850 average, I must go beyond that. Please tell me your highest month. Okay, then they open up the book. They said last year in September we did 12,000. And in December we did 10,500. Okay, we're getting close. We're getting a number that is close. So please tell me why September was 12,000, December was 10,500. What did you do? What did you do? So this is how we build up the assumptions. Means what? We ask difficult questions. Your staff may prepare a sales plan. Your staff may prepare a marketing plan, but you have to challenge and ask difficult questions. Difficult question means what? I don't care how you think. I don't care about how you feel, but I want you to explain to me why you put down this number. Means you must have reason and you must have basis for your number. You understand what I mean? So this comes with experience. If you are running your business for a long time, you should know how to plan. So you are the boss, don't delegate planning. Yeah, please take the lead. The boss take the lead in the planning. Clear, not clear. So you see, from this very simple exercise, we must always, like he correctly said, we must always start with the historical perspective and then adjust it to current realities. Okay? But beyond that, I want to know, who am I competing with? Who is my competitor? Please tell me, or can you find out how many units they sold last year? So my staff, I don't know, find some wonderful ways. Find out that I have 3 close competitor. My first competitor did, last year he did 12,000 average. Okay. My next close competitor did 10,000. And my third competitor did 8,000. Now you have something to worry about. Why is it? I am close to number 3, but so I want to find out what is it they're doing, because we always do copycat. We copy. Yeah, we always like to copy the best. Right? So what I'm trying to share with you is, do not ignore your competitor. This is more important than your historical. Yeah, your competitor. Who are you competing with? You know why? Because you're all trying to find the same target customer. Yeah, because you're all trying to find the same target customer, you must know how to build up your numbers. So many a time when we look at the sales plan and then we look at the marketing plan and we look at the competitors' information, we know this plan is not very realistic. You understand what I mean? So it sounds very easy, but believe me, it's not. Anybody can calculate and put numbers here and get it right. But is this realistic? Is this reasonable? Can it be achieved? Yeah. If it cannot be achieved, please don't call it a plan. Don't waste your time. It's not, you are doing yourself a disservice. So now I'm sure many of you are in a business or doing some business. You must know how to plan your sales for the future, because without sales, there is no reason to have a business. A business exists because of sales. Because sales, less expenses, will give you the profit. Without sales, there is no profit. So you must bloody well get your sales number correct and know how to calculate your sales well. Because any mistake in estimating or forecasting or planning your sales will have bad consequences for everything else, which explains why I put sales at the top. Yeah, because without sales, there's no need to plan the others. Clear or not clear? Now, many of you are already in a business. Yeah, so you have to think about how you will be running the business as your own. It's only when you start to run the business as your own, you understand the importance of planning. Yeah. So many people, if you make a mistake here, it will have an effect on the other areas of your business. Clear or not clear? So all of you now know how to make a sales plan, right? Yes or no? Because I'm going to test you. I think you're okay, right, Mr. Zhang? You've got some expertise in sales planning, right? Okay, good. Miss Huai, right? You okay? You know how to do a sales plan? You know how to do a sales plan? Okay, good. Miss Chang, number 3? Kind of, okay. Chang, number 2? Not sure, Miss Haik? Okay, good. Miss Lam, right? Miss Ha? Well, Miss Chang, number 1? Miss Quinn? Sven? It's not. It's very easy. All right, sorry. Be honest with me, okay? How many of you do not like numbers? Please put your hand up. How many of you don't like numbers? You see numbers and you suddenly feel like you're going to faint. You like numbers, Chang? Come on. Somebody told me Vietnamese are very good with numbers. Is it true? Vietnamese are very good with numbers, right? You like to have big number in your bank account, right? Okay, so what is difficult? Please open up. What's difficult? Because if you don't get this part right, then you need to take a step back and say, hey, do I really want to get into my own business? Because this is the biggest challenge you will face as an entrepreneur, is how to increase sales. Because if you don't know this, you are taking on a very, very big risk. Mr. Future GM, what are you going to do? You can do this, right? You're going to have staff to do it for you, right? Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. I just put numbers there. I want to see how you think. To me, if I do a sales plan, I'm not interested in what I did last year. I'm interested to know what my competitor did. Because when I know what my competitor did, the next question I need to ask myself is, how big is the market? Who is the customer that none of us have yet? Where is the opportunity? Where is the sale going to come from? That is how I build up my number. But Mr. Zhang earlier told me he will look at historical. Yes, he's partly right. I will look at competitor, because to me this is more important, because from competitor I can roughly estimate the size of the market. You understand what I mean? My strategy, is it to kill them? Or my strategy is to add to them? Very important. Yeah? Yes, if you take the approach that you want to kill them, they may do the same to you. You understand what I mean? So this is why businesses fail, because they take the approach that competition means to kill somebody else, not to help to grow the business. So you have to know is how you think. The way you think is important. I don't say my thinking is right. Please don't get me wrong. How you think becomes very important. You may use historical, but I don't care about what happened last year. I start with a blank piece of paper and I ask myself, what is the size of the market? Yeah. What is it they are doing and how close I am to them, or what makes me different for them so that I am able to compete. Compete means healthy competition. Not I make you die and I go up. This is a Vietnamese thinking. I kill you and then I go up. I become king. Cannot do that way. Not healthy. That's called unhealthy competition. You understand what I mean? So we need to move to a higher level of thinking. You must understand the industry. So you are in the English language business, which I think is a very, very good business in Vietnam. But what makes you different from somebody else? Yeah. If you're not very different, okay, what are you competing on? Are you competing based on price? Are you competing based on some unique aspect of your product? Or are you competing based on some differentiated level of service? It's not always price. Yeah. So if you are competing just purely on price, you are in very big danger. Yeah, because he charged $4. Okay, you reduce to $3.50. He reduced next day to $3. You cannot do business that way. Very wrong. So don't compete on cost only. You need to take it to a higher level of differentiation. Understand your customer well and what is it your customer wants. The customer wants a total solution, which includes the product, the performance of the product, and your service delivery system as well. Total cost solution. You get what you pay for. You buy Vietjet, you wait 2 hours because flight delay. Cheap ticket, ma. You get what you pay for. You understand what I'm trying to say here? I'm just trying to build up an analogy. You must know why you want the customer to pay higher than your product or your competitor's product. What is it you are offering that is different from your nearest competitor? I don't say every because we don't have time to collect information from anybody and everybody. We don't have the luxury. We need to know some way of gathering market intelligence. How do I do that? I make friend with somebody who work in the competitor's company to help get the information for me. Mr. Zhang, you ask your friend's son to go to your competitor's school and get all the information. This is what you call natural intelligence, not artificial. Natural. Yeah, we can use intelligence to get intelligent information about your competitors. But you must know who they are. If you don't know who they are, then I think you have big problems. Does it answer your question? So you still want to be GM? You look like a GM. I'm very sure you'll be one. You know, I think you will be one. You know, because you're asking the right questions. Any other questions? Because this is a very important, and many businesses fail because they don't know how to plan. You understand what I mean? Planning is just not, oh, having a nice report format in Excel. Oh, look, but really cannot implement. Yeah. Yes, exactly. Thank you very much. Easy to plan, very difficult to implement the plan. Yeah. So next time, if you are the own boss, there is a new word, they call it accountability, responsibility. You cannot tell yourself, hey, you are so stupid. See your plan. Go wrong. He'll turn around and say, you are equally stupid because you approve the plan. You understand what I'm trying to say here? So please plan together. Because if you don't plan, it's also a problem. You plan also can be a problem because you're not using the right assumptions. Many of you will do your thesis defense later, and I'm pretty sure you will be presenting your own business or your own company. So I think what I'm going to share with you will hopefully help you. Yeah, don't ignore the importance of natural intelligence. Yeah, but you cannot do a business without understanding your competitor and without understanding your industry. These are not numbers we pluck from the sky or drop from somewhere or it looks good. That should not be your emphasis. Yeah? So many a time you did 8 million last year. Investor will say next year I want 10. They won't say, okay, next year just do 5. Would you say that? Nobody wants to do that. Everybody wants to grow their sale. You did 10 million last year. They say, okay, next year you have to do minimum 12. You do 12, next year 15. You do 15, next year 20. This is how business is. Huh? Why? Because you need to challenge. You need the challenge and you need the thrill because that is what business is all about. You've got to tell yourself, if I could do 10, hey, I must challenge myself to do more than 10 next year. Otherwise, you know, what the hell have I been doing? Yeah? So this is what put pressure on management. Yeah? Meeting the shareholder expectation. Because shareholder always say, hey, you did 10 last year, why you cannot do more next year? Correct or not? Why you cannot do next? Last year you can do 10, so this year I challenge you, do 15. 50% more? No. So, I cannot do. So, okay, how many percent more you can do? Okay, I can do 20% more. Okay, good. We stick to 15. But end of the day, you're still better than last year. Correct or not? You're better than last year. But what is your potential? Yeah, so we need to challenge. We need to be challenged. We need to challenge to help ourselves grow as a company. Maybe we have the right people. They know how to find the right customer and the right segment to create new space for them to compete. Not very crowded, so I go in there and I am able to build and grow my business. I don't worry about the competitor. Competitor will always be there. No business without competitor. Only business without competitor is government. Correct or not? Correct or not? I like to be in business, only one supplier, EVN. Perfect business, no competition. Petro Vietnam, easy business, no competition. I like to be in that business, but not easy to get in there. What business? EVN, what business? Is it challenging to be working in EVN? It's not. Demand for electricity is increasing exponentially because all the segments need electricity. When there's growth, electricity consumption increase, so just sell and collect money only. You don't pay me? I just cut. Easy. You have no choice. You have to pay. Correct or not? Good business. But you are other business, you sell, you don't get the money. What do? So again, the industry structure is very important. Many small businesses, they don't see the forest from the trees. They just think of the small thinking only. Yeah, they don't worry about what is around them, or they don't think that what is around them is going to impact or affect them. So how do I learn that skill is why you're here. How do I learn that skill? I'm telling you, find out who is your competitor. What is it they are doing? Do your homework. Yeah, do your homework on your competitor. I am quite sure you will come up with a better plan. A better plan, a more realistic plan, and it will show. Because you're thinking like a competitor. You're thinking about somebody else you are competing against to get new business or to get business. So please, do not ignore the importance of the competitor, because many people make sales plan just based on historical data. But there is one more method. Who can tell me what is that method? It is now becoming very popular. One more method. You won't find it in a textbook. It comes from experience. What is it? Anybody else who's going to be a CEO? Ms. Chang, you're going to be a CEO soon, right? Soon, okay. So tell me another method. Ms. Hai, you look like a CEO. Tell me. You're starting to look like one, so please tell me. Okay, we call it demand analysis. Okay? Demand analysis means somebody knows who has a need for your product or your service. What is the need and for your product and service? And based on that, you work out how much is the quantity of that need that you can satisfy. It is the method that now many companies in the US are using. They use this word big data. Have you heard this word before? So what the heck is big data? Ms. Hua, what is big data? Okay. Yes, you spend time analyzing customer data. Yeah, so if you don't analyze customer data, you cannot construct your sales plan. Yeah, why? Because customer is demand side. Customer is the one that wants your product, has a need for your product, and therefore they come and buy the product from you. If you don't understand the need, how can you satisfy the need? So many businesses don't try to understand the need. Yeah. So if you understand the need of your customer, you are easily able to sell the right product to the right customer. So you need to invest some time in analyzing your own customers' business and their own data, because what you sell to them is what they buy. Yeah, so you need to be able to analyze your customer. So one dimension is competitor, one dimension is financial, the emerging dimension is demand, which is the customer. So if you ask me, I think the one that will be the most accurate, which will be the most accurate plan? Which will be the most accurate? The one you base on historical, the one you base on competitor, or the one you base on your customer data? Which will be the most accurate? Yes, of course. The customer one would be the most accurate. So many times, businesses, before the end of the year, they start to have meetings with their customer. Yeah? Why? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, when you are starting a new business, it doesn't matter whether old business or new business. Your starting point is who is doing a similar business like you? Who is doing a similar business like you? Yes, the first time you need to identify a similar business. But if you have been doing it for many years, you can use a combination of the three. Why? Because I don't say this is wrong. I don't say this is completely right. I will tell you this is the best. Yeah, so I must learn to employ a combination of the three. But the one that is the most accurate and the most realistic one will be the customer. So if you're starting a new business, good. Find out who are your potential customers. Go and meet them. Find out their needs. Find out their expectations. Find out what is it that is lacking or what is it they don't like about their current suppliers. You understand what I mean? And the next part is building relationship. Because it's not always product and price. Yeah, it's not always product and price. It's also relationship. I have a friend, he's a very successful sales manager. He always go and meet many people. He even meet customer of his competitor. He don't go to meet them to sell. He go to meet them to talk about anything and nothing. But he is so good with product knowledge, so good with his understanding. After a while, even the competitors want to come and give business to him. He don't disturb them. He just meet them 3 months, 6 months. He is willing to invest his time. But he will get it back. Yeah, he's investing his time building a relationship. Not to make you immediate customer, but to make you a future customer. And then after a while, the customer say, wow, this guy always come to meet me, never talk about order, never talk about business, just make friend. He want to know more about my business. My friend is very smart. Because every time he meet, he is getting information. Information is very important, my friends. Yeah, you must know how to gather information, and that is very cheap. No need to spend a lot of money. Just go out, maybe drink, dinner. Just find out. What is it you like? What are your, getting to understand. So this is what you call relationship building. So if you want to build a good business, find out what others are offering, what products they're offering, what kinds of service they're offering. Then you know, oh, okay, what is it the customer wants? Or what is it the customer needs? And then you go in. You know what I mean? So how many of you are willing to invest your time? Because I've observed Vietnamese are very impatient and very impulsive. You understand what I mean? They don't want to đầu tư vốn, but they want to thu hồi lại vốn before they đầu tư. It cannot work that way. You either invest time or you invest money. Which is cheaper? Time or money? Both, right? Right? But they don't think of it as investment. They want quick result. Your sales staff, yes, but you are the boss. You cannot do that. Your job is relationship. Yeah? Relationship, very important in Vietnam, like anywhere else. Because people always like people. They like people who are like them. Yeah? They get to like you. Once they like you, you are already very close to a sale. You understand what I mean? It's psychology. They play on psychology. So this is what you will never get in a textbook. But people don't spend the time. So you are starting out a business, just go and meet people who are buying from others. Find out what is it. Just friendly chat, meeting, talking. You're not going to sell them anything. After a while, they will come and say, okay, so what you're doing? Okay, I support you. I try. You know, because when you meet them many times, in the subconscious, they say, okay, I think I should try them. And you never know, because you already know what others are doing, so you plan to do it much better. That's all. So your competitor's customer can be your customer tomorrow. How? I just told you how. But it is a long, arduous process. Now, the next thing you need to ask yourself is, the customer have a high switching cost or low switching cost? Do you know the difference? You know what's the meaning of switching cost? High or low? Switching. Switch. Yes. Is it very costly for them to change their supplier? If the answer is yes, then you have to work extra hard. If the answer is no, then you can walk in anytime and take away the customer. Because what you see is only data. You don't see relationship. You understand? You don't see relationship. That's why get to know your customer. Yeah, when you get to know your customer, you know that it's not always price. It's relationship. So, Mr. GM, please take note. Yeah, relationship is what will give you the business. I have some GM in Malaysia, they don't go to office. No need. What for? They go play golf. Whole day play golf. But that is how they are measured. How much business I bring. Don't worry about whether I'm in the office or what I do, but I am measured based on what business I bring in. Yeah, not whether I come to office at 8:30, I leave at 7 o'clock. That is old thinking, old school. New school is business. What business? Why? Because business is sales. No sales, how are you going to meet all the others? Yeah, so that is the GM's job, not in the office. GM has to be with the customer all the time. Yeah? Yes. Okay, how you measure the switching cost is very important. What is the price of the product? Okay, usually when the price is high, the switching cost is also high. You understand what I mean? If you're selling an item that costs $5 and you're selling an item that costs 50,000, you should know that a 50,000 product is a very complex product, and sometimes we don't just sell product, we're selling a system of product, service, support, and relationship. You have to understand that. If you want to get new business, you have to understand what your customer is doing with their current supplier. So to answer you, switching cost has a lot to do with the price of the item you are selling or the volume of item you are selling. One of the two. So I will give you a story, okay? It is a real story, but I won't tell you who is the business, okay? There is a factory. It is semi-government owned, okay? So they need to buy a raw material, okay? Their annual requirement is 4 million. 4 million tons, okay? And the price of 1 ton is $70. 4 million tons they need to buy every year because their factory needs this material to run production. So 4 million, they have price of $70. So what do? They decide to break up government company. They break up the 4 million between 5 suppliers. Okay, so each supplier will supply 800,000 ton at $90. If they bought 4 million, they would have got $70. But because one supplier is quoting for 800,000 ton, they pay a higher price. So the reason why they're willing to pay a higher price, I found out later, was for every metric ton, they want to have profit to themselves of $15. Money in the pocket. So company pay $90, supplier give them back $15. Yes, commission, private commission. Yeah, private commission. So you understand what I'm trying to say here? You need to understand this is relationship. You have to understand. Don't just go and talk. Say, no, I can do better. Yeah. What are you going to give me? You understand what I'm trying to say here? Yeah? You have to understand the relationship. Because if you don't understand the relationship, means you should not be doing your business. Because business at the end of the day is mainly relationship. Yeah? If you don't have a good relationship, you cannot make. Sometimes it's not the price. You charge any price. Okay, what are you going to give me? What are you going to give me if I give you the order? Huh? What are you going to give me? Yes, I give you the contract. What are you going to give me? Not what you're going to give my company. What are you going to give me? Mr. GM, what are you going to give me? You see what I mean? This is what I call relationship, which you don't see. Yeah, you don't see these things, but it is real. It is very real. So if you're trying to build a new business, focus on the relationship. Yeah, get to know your potential customer. You must be willing to spend the time, maybe some money as well. Yeah, because it will take a long time to get the first order. But when they keep seeing you often enough, they will remember you. When you call, they know, okay, come, I invite you for dinner. You are not talking about business at all. You just chơi thôi, you know, just to enjoy. But in the process of enjoying, when he drink a lot, he talk a lot. So you find out. This is how it is done. Yeah? This is exactly what you are supposed to be doing. So switching costs is not an issue at all. He can switch, but you must be able to offer a comparable and a compatible alternative. If you're able to do that, you can win business very easily. So many people don't understand why marketing is very, very important. Marketing, you don't see the result today. Yeah, it sometimes will take time. Yeah, you need to invest today and you will see the result tomorrow. So you need to look at it from that point of view, because you are not marketing just for today's sales number. You're marketing for the future as well. Yeah, so this is why many companies, bosses don't understand. You know, I spent $2 million, but I don't see the sales. Yeah, you won't see it now. It's going to happen. You got to give it time to happen. Clear or not clear? Any other question? Ms. Haik? You're thinking, okay. Mr. Wu, any question? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay, asked a very good question. I talk a lot about big data. You must understand, my sister studied in Harvard. She's doing big data. And she's going to organize a seminar in Vietnam in the next couple of months. Now, the reason why big data is important, it is simply because big data helps you understand your customers' buying habits and buying behaviors. And it gives you a predictive ability on what is the demand for your particular product or service. There are many other ways to do it. One, as you correctly pointed out, is we do independent research with end user to find out what is it they're looking for. If I'm going to buy this product, what is it I'm actually looking for? How much am I willing to pay? What features and functionalities I want this product to have, and what post-sale support and service I expect from my supplier. Then you can create a product at a target price to find this particular customer to satisfy the need. But that's not enough. Big data goes beyond that. It tells you who is currently buying a product that is like the product you plan to sell. Yeah? So you get all the demand data that tells you how many such products have been sold, either how many such products have been sold or the sale value. If they give you a sale value, you can convert it to equivalent units to determine the size of the business or the size of the market. And then you use that information to create your sales plan. So that is how big data is supposed to help you. You go into this universe of all the data of who is buying your product. You are consolidating that information to make sure your product is going to be targeting these particular customers. That means the assumption you make is, what is your target quantity in relation to the universe of sales? If you're very small, it's safe. But you calculate your sale plan is worth 10% of the universe of sale data, you got to ask yourself, hey, is it realistic? You know, so this is how data mining, big data, all these things are helping, because invariably, information is not really confidential. Yeah, there are many ways to get information. There's unofficial way and official way to get information. Everywhere people are selling information if you pay them a good price. You understand what I mean? Sometimes I go on the street and I get a phone call and they talk to me about a product. And I wonder where they get my information from. I get a lot of posts from Facebook. Again, I wonder how they get my information. They send me emails. So people are selling your data. Yeah, that is why they are able to call you and get your information. Otherwise, how can they get your bloody phone number? They must be getting it from somebody. And I know the banks cannot be trusted. You know, they sell data. Sorry, they sell information. So you have to do the same. You need to find a way for somebody who works with your competitor or somebody who works with your competitor's customer to get information. You must be willing to pay. Oops, sorry, it's called marketing expense. Yeah, so the best way to understand everything I've just said is you got to get your data. This too, I think, gives you the most credible combination of sales data. Yeah. Otherwise, don't use your historical data only, because historical, you never know. It may never repeat itself. And why would you want to plan based on the past? Yeah, we want to plan for the future. So you should be using the demand, number one, followed by competitor, number two, and third is just for benchmarking only. Historical. Did I answer your question? Okay, good. Any other questions? Ms. Chan, you have not asked me any question. I'm not going to leave today without a question. Yes, good. Okay, so what is the theory and what is real? Tell me, give me an example. Give me an example. Okay, so did you ask them why they changed? Okay. So is it? So could it be the? Okay, so you. So what is wrong with the theory? So you're saying I'm speaking perfect theory, so I should go now, right? Should I go now? Or you want me to stay? Okay. No, 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 it's not. I'm just saying, I'm listening to you, but I'm still trying to figure out what is the real issue. Now, you told me they switched to another supplier, right? Yeah. You also told me, yeah, yeah. You also told me you came to know that they switched to another supplier because they wanted a lower price. But then you told me your price is acceptable. Who decides whether your price is acceptable, you or your customer? Okay, so they got a lower price from somebody else. But you just told me you still say your price is acceptable. I'm just trying to wonder how is that? Is it a very important customer? Sorry, is that a very important customer that you lost? Very big in terms of sales and your... Okay, okay. VIP customer means how much of your total sale comes from the VIP customer? Okay, so did you ever ask yourself, okay, what is the price of your product? You say acceptable price. What is the acceptable price? Okay, so what is the price of your service? You say acceptable. What's the acceptable price? No, just give me a number. Okay, so what is the acceptable price in the market? Yeah. Sure. Okay, inbound, outbound. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, cost per container. Okay, 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 okay. Yeah, yeah, I understand. Anything to do with number, I understand very well. Okay, so you're now telling me your competitor is offering them, they're selling at cost, and you're wondering why they do that, right? Okay, now is it possible? I don't know. Is it possible that 200 can come down as well? Because if this can come down, shouldn't this also be able to come down? Yes or no? You said price is coming down. Yes, they switched. So my question is, can the cost, how do I know this cost is real? Okay. Well, the only way you're going to find out is how. How do I find out? How do you find out that you're right? Yes, get as many quotes as possible, right? Don't just rely on one quote and say that the price is acceptable. So to answer you, I have only two answers. One, I don't believe 300 is an acceptable price, and I don't believe 200 is an acceptable cost. Yeah, so you must remember, some people are very smart in business. Means what? They don't want other people to know what is the real price and what is the real cost. So they give you what is called discount. This is called under table discount. That means nobody know. On the invoice, they show 200, but you don't pay them 200. You pay them 170 or 150, but you only see this information. You understand what I mean? Yes. So this happens a lot, especially when you're talking about your business is highly competitive. Too competitive. Margin is very, very thin. So you want to make $100, I think is too much. You'll be lucky if you make 25 to 50. That is the new reality. Why? Because competition is very intense. Singapore, right? Yeah, very competitive. Hong Kong, also very competitive. Yeah, so why? Because they are hubs. Yeah, they are trading hubs. So the margins are low, but the volumes are high. You don't trade on margin, you trade on volume. So I do not know what forced your VIP customer to switch to somebody else. Maybe somebody else paid their boss a lot of money, which you don't know anything about. I don't know. I don't know the true facts of what you're telling me, but I can believe these things happen. Suddenly people switch, or maybe the GM of that company or management changed. Your VIP customer, maybe there's a change in management, so they change the supplier. Very common in Vietnam. New boss come in, suddenly we have new supplier. Why? Because he wants relationship with them so that he is happy. Old supplier have old relationship. New manager want new relationship. So when he becomes GM next time, he will do the same thing too. I want to find the right supplier at the right price. So to answer your question, I believe you are in a very competitive industry. So what you claim to be acceptable, you said is acceptable, but I don't have to believe you. You understand what I mean? Because it's a matter of perception. Yeah, it might be acceptable to you, but why, if it was acceptable to you, why did your customer change? Why decide to leave you? Yeah, so he is maybe sending you a signal that your information is outdated. So go and test yourself, get as many quotes as possible. See whether your customer is right or they're telling you something else. I'm sorry, that's the only answer I can give you. It is not from a textbook, it's business experience. Yeah, always test the market, go and get blind quotes. Yeah, blind quotes, so you keep your supplier honest. Yeah, he say, hey, wow, you keep charging me 25, but other supplier give me 18, 15. Come on, what's going on? Ah, you don't know the $5 I'm giving you on the side. So if you ask me to reduce to 15, I cannot give you anything. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah, it's commission. High price, high commission. Low price, how to give you high commission. You understand what I'm saying? So, these are the things that are not in your textbook. Yes, you're right. But I don't come here to teach you textbook. I'm not teaching you textbook. I'm teaching you entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is experience. I used to be an entrepreneur. I lost a lot of money. That's why I'm teaching. You understand what I mean? But the lessons I learned are very good. You learned you learn your best lessons when you lose money. Yeah? You learn your best lessons when you lose money. And I didn't lose a little, I lost a lot. Okay, so please go and test your market again, because I think maybe your information is not perfect enough. Yeah, so please test it. I know if you say logistic, these are really unsustainable. They don't look very realistic to me. So please go and double check. Any other questions? Otherwise, we'll take a short break. Yeah, when we come back, we're going to test you with some numbers, okay? So you need to have your laptop and your calculators, okay? All right, so we'll take a short, how many minutes? 1 minute break? Is that long enough? 10 minutes, okay. Yes. Yeah, she did a course on data analytics. Yeah, I think it's a very good course. Yeah, very deep. Yeah, yeah. Yes, yes. So that's what they're doing. I think that's something that people in you are being research, right? You should get into that. Get into that, and you can provide good service for your customers. Actually, I do not know the specifics, but she's going to send me an outline, and then I will share it with you. Okay, and then when she comes down, I will get you to meet her as well. So you never know. All right. Okay, so keep in touch with me. Okay? Yeah, sure. Let me give you my card.
Because a lot of my clients now they start moving to big data
Yeah.
instead of traditional
Yes,
research. So
so
I
I-
found it is
I think you just send me an email.
Yeah.
I will forward it to her, and then you can connect.
Okay.
And maybe she can share something with you.
Okay.
You should consider that because that's where we're moving into demand analysis. We need people who are strong in demand analysis. Otherwise, you cannot have good sales plans.
Okay.
Is that for me? Wow, that's really nice. Thank you so much. This side of the business is very it's really going down and down. You know why? Singapore is Malaysia is giving Singapore a lot of competition. will be useful because you not only know your information, you know how to present your information. So what this is trying to show you is you must tell your team how much money you're going to make next year, or what is your estimate sales plan. So some of you may have a company. This could be all your salesmen. This could be the products they are selling. And this would be how much each one is to sell, the sales plan for each staff. But this business that you're doing is a lawyer company. So these are all the name of the lawyers. Each one is going to spend 1,600 hours. So I will do the first one for you. Byron is going to spend 800 hours on conveyancing and 800 hours on litigation. And Smith is going to spend 1,600 hours of litigation. So what you need to do is you need to calculate the total here, and then you multiply it by your billing rate. And that gives you your sales plan for 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is what you're supposed to do. Do I make myself clear? I want to introduce you to the new lecturer. Say hello. Hello. you live? Is it near the metro, the old metro? You used to live there before. Oh, I used to live. Because at that time my family was studying in Australia. The school is in town. All right, so did you guys get it? Are you getting there? Well, I'm going to give you another 2 minutes and I'm going to show you the answer, okay? Okay, we'll get to a very difficult question after. All right, so if you want to fast track your learning, this is what you should get. Huh? So it's easy. Did you get it? Okay. So you want to take over the class? All right, so, I'm showing you the answers to the question, but the point of this exercise, what is the real point of this exercise? The real point of this exercise is you are the boss. You need to know how to allocate the resources. So I'm the boss of this legal firm. These are all my resources. This is my target for each one of them. And I want to tell them where they should spend their time. All right? So let's look at when you do a sales plan next time, how do you know your sales plan is realistic? To do that, you need to look at your sales by region. Is it north, middle, south? One way. Another way, by customer. Another way, by sales staff. Another way, by channel. Is it B2B, B2C? Is it retail? Is it wholesale? Is it online? By channel. And by product line. Is it product A? Is it product B? Is it product C? You can do the same thing for service. So to prove your sales plan is realistic and reasonable, you must be able to know all this level of detail. Otherwise, I don't know whether your sales plan is really well planned or not. You understand? So you must know to plan with real detail so that we know that it can be believed. Not you say, no, I'm going to do 8 million next year. Don't ask me how. I don't know how, but I'm going to make it. Cannot. Yeah, so your plan has got to be backed up by some real assumptions. Assumptions that demonstrate you really understand your business. Yeah, because if you don't understand your business, you cannot possibly come up with a complete sales plan which is focused. Yeah, that means it shows, it demonstrates you really understand your business well. You planned your business well. Clear, not clear? Any questions? So we've done the first one, the sales plan. Now, the next thing is, what is the marketing plan to be able to achieve the sales plan? They always go together. I am. You know, they always go together, marketing and sales. Then you have your operating expenses, then you have your interest expenses. You can calculate your earnings before tax, your earnings after tax, and then you know, hey, am I really making money for the year? Or going to make money for the year? Yeah, so this is what every company needs to do. But I have observed something about Vietnamese companies. They don't believe in planning. They just believe in doing and hoping for the best. It's true. They don't plan. They just do. Yeah, they don't have a structured planning process. But if you work for an American company, they spend the last 2 months of every year planning for the next year. And they have a lot of detailed slides, lot of detailed Excel sheets, because they want you to be able to defend and present your numbers. And they ask you all kinds of questions. Okay, sales team, come. Okay, you present. We ask you question. Okay, technical, come. Marketing, come. Finance, come. People put you through the test just to make sure you know what you're doing. Yeah, otherwise, why I need you? For what? If you don't know how to plan, the door is open. Please go. Yeah, so this is why they make planning a very important exercise, and they keep reviewing the plan after every quarter. Yeah, because you don't only break it down. Oh yeah, I forgot. You break this down by month, and also you break it up by quarter. So you have a complete breakdown or a complete blowout of your sales for the next year. You understand what I mean? So you are planning in very great detail. Yeah. So you will sit down and present your sales plan, and the boss will say, I don't agree with this. Are you sure about this? This thing that they, okay, tell me about current customer. Tell me something about new customer. Where did you get your information from? Who did you talk to? You know, they start asking you all these difficult questions. Okay, what are the new products you are planning? New product, new project, new partners, new channels. You know, they go into a very, very lengthy details to find out how you are planning. So they expect you as the management, you know what you're doing. Yeah, because otherwise you shouldn't be here. Yeah, so this is why this is lacking in Vietnamese companies, at least the normal companies. Maybe the bigger companies, I don't know. They might be doing something like that. You know, maybe the Vin Group or the Petro Vietnam Group, I don't know. I'm assuming they have a planning cycle. I have no data to suggest otherwise. But smaller companies, the boss say, hey, your job is to go and work. Not waste time doing all this planning, wasting management time. Go and do, don't plan. You know what I mean? So that's why when you don't plan, sometimes the downside is you don't know where you're going. Yeah? You don't know where you're going because you have no goal. Yeah, if you've got no goal, no purpose, no direction, how the hell are you going to get there? So this is why planning becomes very important. You must know where you're heading or where you're going. So, you know, you need to spend some time. So those of you who are in organizations and you're not doing enough planning, you will suffer the consequences. Yeah, because by planning, you're actually giving yourself a goal, a target, something to aim for. You know, otherwise, hey, what the hell am I doing here? You know what I mean? There's no goal, no target, no challenge. You know, just pretending as though everything is going on as usual. So unless you are a sales staff, you will never really understand the challenge, the stress. You understand what I mean? Because you don't have to sell. But if you are a sales staff, bloody hell, you know, it's a very stressful job, selling. Yeah, it's not easy. You know, I don't claim to be good at sales, but I think selling is not easy. But there is ways to become a better salesman. Yeah, focus on the person, not the product. Yeah, relationship. Yeah, don't try to focus too much on the product because end of the day, people buy the product because they like the people that are selling the product. You understand what I mean? If you go to the car showroom, who's trying to sell you the car? You get my point? You know, the point I'm trying to say is people are very visual. You know, we are, you know, and who is trying to sell you products usually is a good looking, very attractive, you know, because they work on the psychology that men will buy from a woman who is very attractive. I mean, that's a fact. It's proven. You know what I mean? And maybe a woman would buy from a very attractive man. I don't know. But this is psychology selling. It's all relationship based. You can have a very average product, but it's sold by somebody who has very good sales skill or very good relational skills, and that's how they get the sale. Yeah, so you know this is the way it is. Yeah, so salespeople are to be highly respected because what they do is not easy, especially your sales staff. I pity them. It's not easy. It's very difficult, especially when you are in a very competitive industry and there's nothing to differentiate your service. You know what I mean? It's very hard. Everybody will say, oh, differentiation, I provide this quality, this. Everybody is saying the same thing. You understand what I mean? Everybody is saying the same thing because they all studied MBA. Everybody is studying the same thing, but your job is to try and be a different. Yeah, be different. Start embracing the new tools and techniques, just like the gentleman just now said. You know, this is just tools and techniques. Yeah, you are learning tools and techniques to make you better and more effective managers. And who are you learning it from? You're learning from people who have done it before. You understand what I mean? We're not teaching you from a textbook. I'm not teaching you from a textbook. I'm teaching you from real experience. You understand what I mean? And that is very valuable. Yeah, that is very valuable. So if you develop that way of thinking, you are very well poised to become a successful manager. And that should be the only reason why you study MBA. Not merit, but available. But be a good manager. Yeah, you want to be a good manager, a good owner of a future business. Yeah, don't study because you're going to get a degree and you're going to get a piece of paper and you have this wonderful graduation photograph to show everybody else and have the MBA next to your name. That is not worth it anymore, because every Tom, Dick, and Harry has an MBA. You understand what I'm trying to tell you? So please be the difference. Yeah. Can I erase this? Okay. Yep. So I know what you're saying, because your revenue is project based, right? So what you do is today what you do, you sign contract. Am I right? You sign contract. This contract is worth 1.5 million. Example. All right? And in the contract, your timetable for delivering under the project is 2 years. So what your team, your project team has to do is they build up a time plan for the 2 year and what is going to happen at the different milestones, so that from 1 year to the end of 2 years, you will earn the 1.5 million. Maybe your first milestone, you will earn 10% of the contract value. You understand what I mean? By the time you get to the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, let's say there are 7 milestones. By the time you get to the 5th milestone, you have earned 70% of the contract. Is this what you mean? Yeah. Okay. Wait, let me stand this side.
Propose the budget for customer and you or the status bid status, for example, and pay on that information check status. We can weigh the value we can expect in forecast next month, next 2 months, next year.
That's good. That's good. Now I give you a simple example. Yeah, I used to work for GE. You know GE? GE is an American company. We were repair and overhaul aircraft engine. You know aircraft, right? The plane, the aircraft engine. So what is my job of my company? The job of my company is to receive the engine and disassemble it, repair, change the parts and components, and return it back to the airline customer. So we know this engine will come back to me again in the next 1 year or 2 years. So we can plan ahead. That's good. Those type of businesses, easy to predict. Why? Because every product has a replacement cycle. So we can plan according to the replacement cycle. But if I'm selling a single-use product, how do I know? If I'm selling a product which is a frequent use product, I need to be able to be very strong on my repeat buying patterns of my customer. If I'm selling a project, they don't do the project every day. Yeah, one project may run for 2 years and I'll be earning that income over the 2 years. So my job is to find many projects. Yeah, not just survive on one project only. So this is a project approach to revenue planning. What you showed me is predictive approach, because you already have a customer who you are currently servicing and you know when they're going to come back to you for the next sale to them. You understand what I mean? This is common when you sell a machine and you know that machine, they will return it back to you for service. Yeah, because the service time is already given. It's like your car, your Toyota car. You know, after every 10,000 mile, please send back for service. So they have a record on their system. You don't need to tell them. They will remind you. Yeah, you don't need to tell them. They might be able to remind you. Now, it is so good that they connect your odometer, whatever you call it, to their system, so they will call you. Say, I think according to our record, your machine now is due for overhaul or repair. So those depends on the type of business. Okay, but depending on your business, yes, you need to develop these predictive tools. So what your company doing is very good. But Vietnamese company, I don't think many do that. You know, it's good. You must have these predictive tools. Yeah, because it make your job easier to estimate. Yeah, but if you're running a school, you must be able to predict your future students, or you need to predict how much more time your current student will be with you. Because every student will not be with you forever. They come and go. So you want the same number that come in to match the same number that's going out. Otherwise, you're going to have a problem. You want to get more in and less out. That is a healthy situation. But more out, less in is a problem situation. Yeah, so this is normal. You must learn how to estimate. Yeah, you cannot run away from estimating. A good business, a well-planned business owner must know how to plan. Yeah, or get staff who can help you to improve your planning. Don't assume that the boss has to know anything and everything. Cannot. We must be realistic. Boss is good in one thing, so you get other people who are good in other thing. So when we work together, we only have a good thing. Yeah. So this is the theory of modern management. You've got to get a resource pool of competent people who have different skill sets. Good in sales, good in marketing, good in operations, good in finance. So they work all together and collectively they can perform well. Okay, so this is planning. So the next part I want to talk about is actually break even. I know we don't have a lot of time, but I think this is very important for you guys to learn. It's called break even analysis. Okay, it's very useful for your future business purposes. Okay. Now, don't be frightened by the numbers, okay? But I think this is a useful exercise. Let me open the other file. Okay, I've opened the files. Now, okay, I've just shown you here the format a company can, I mean, you go to the internet, there are so many formats available, you know. So when you're running your own business, don't try and create your own. Just go to Google. Google has everything. Yeah, Google knows more than me, okay? Just go to Google, say, I want this template. I want everything is there. So you follow which one is easy for you to understand and do it. Don't try and figuring out how to do it. Google already did all that for you. Google Forms, just go in there, pick one template and use it. Yeah, don't try and reinvent your own. So this is an example of a sales template. They show you the previous year. They show you your goal for the current year, and they show the percentage change from the previous year. Okay, so you can think of item one as one product, second product, third product. So you can go by items. So anybody with knowledge can review by product. Yeah, we can review by product line whether your sales plan is realistic or not. You understand? So this is a format. I don't need to teach you format. Please go on Google and it'll tell you how to get it. Okay. So this one ends the topic on sales plan. So now we move on to the last topic, which is called break-even analysis. Okay. Now, break-even analysis simply means when I am running a business, what is important to me is I want to know how many units I need to sell in order that I don't make a loss for the year. Yeah. So let's say my business is manufacturing. Okay. So my manufacturing capacity is 1 million units a year. That means my machine can produce 1 million units. Okay. My current information. Okay. So I take my current. Okay. My current selling price per unit is $15. My current variable cost. What's the meaning of variable cost? Variable cost means when my unit go up, my cost will also go up by the same number. Because every additional unit, I have material, labor, overhead. So I call it variable cost. So in this example, my variable cost is $8. Okay, so accountants have decided that when I take my selling price minus my variable cost, I get what is known as contribution margin. That means for every product that I sell, I make a contribution of $7. Now, this $7 has to cover my fixed cost. So let's say the fixed cost of my factory is $250,000 for the year. So my question to you now is how many units should I sell? How many units should I sell so that my profit is zero? Who can tell me? Around 35,000. How did you do that? Did you say 35,000? No, don't. We cannot be around. We must be exact. Okay, so you are familiar with this concept of break even. How did you get it right? I'm curious to know. How did you get this? You've learned this before? Yeah. Yeah, you make $7 for every product. So you need to sell 35,000 units to be able to cover your fixed costs. And if you cover all your fixed costs, means your CM, which is 7 times 35, 714 is equal to 250,000. And if your CM is 250,000 and your fixed cost is 250,000, so naturally you will make a profit of zero. So this is what we call break-even analysis. Now, why the hell is this important? When you're running a business, the most important thing is you don't lose money. Yeah. So you must know how many units you need to sell as a minimum to cover all your costs. Right? So if you don't sell 35,000. If you don't sell more than this, means your business will lose money. So when I do my planning, that's the first thing I must do. How many units I must sell to make sure I don't lose money? Yeah, what is typically included in fixed costs is sales, general, and administration costs. What is included in this cost is depreciation. Sales, general, and administration costs and depreciation. That means whether I sell $1 or I don't sell, I still have to pay staff, I still have to pay general expenses, I still have to pay administration expenses. I may also need to pay the bank. So I sometimes need to also include finance cost because it's my fixed cost of doing business. Yeah. So I want to make sure I am selling enough to be able to cover all these expenses. Clear or not clear? So you guessed it right, but now I think you understand why it's important. So when I'm doing my sales plan, I will first, as the boss, ask my accountant, hey, what is the break even? Break even means how many units I need to sell or how much is my revenue so that I'm able to cover all my costs and make zero profit. So that is your minimum sales target. You cannot go below that. Because if you go below that, every extra money comes out of my pocket and I don't want to do that. You understand what I mean? Yeah. So this becomes very important and many business owners don't do this. They don't even know how many units or how much is the sales so that they don't lose money. Yeah, and that is a very important for you to know. So to do this analysis correctly, what information is required? I must make sure this number is correct and this number is correct. This will always be correct because I know I'm selling. I know what is my selling price. Yeah, I should know what is my selling price. And I want to make sure this number is positive. If this is negative, means I'm a stupid boss. How can I sell below my variable cost? It's like saying the cost of making the product is higher than the selling price. How can I do that? Yeah, so you need to be a bit intelligent about the numbers. But the reason why many Vietnamese people don't do this in their planning is they really don't understand this concept well. Okay, so the easiest way to understand this concept is to remember, I want to make sure in the worst case, I don't lose money. You understand what I mean? Don't lose money means my profit is zero. If my profit is zero, it's okay. At least I have my head on the water is better than under the water. All right, so this is very important you understand. So you need to do a break-even analysis. And if you want to do the break-even analysis correctly and accurately, means you must understand the cost structure of your business. You must know what is the variable cost and what is your fixed cost. So the difference between variable cost and fixed cost is very simple. Okay, if I say this is the dollar and this is the units, Variable cost, every additional unit I produce or sell, my variable cost will go up. Fixed cost is, doesn't matter how many units it'll be flat. This is my fixed cost. Fixed cost means it doesn't change whether I produce 0 units or 1,000 units. My fixed cost is the same. Yeah, so your thinking should be, what is a fixed cost? Fixed cost means whether I sell 1 unit or I sell 1,000 units, how much is my fixed cost of running my business? Yeah, what is the fixed cost of running my business? And that is the number that you plug in here. Okay, and then you work backwards to know what is my variable cost that is increasing with every unit I produce. You see what I mean? So in this example, I need to sell 35,000 units to break even. So let's say I reduce this a bit, okay? I was a bit ambitious. Let's say my plant capacity is 100,000 units. Means if I sell 35% of my plant capacity, I'm okay. I won't be losing money. So my job is to find market to sell more than 35%. If I sell more than 35% of my plant capacity, it means I am running a good business. So when you are in a manufacturing company, how many of you here are in manufacturing? Yes. When you are in manufacturing, you don't have a choice because you have the devil called capacity. How many units you should be producing with your machine? Yeah. So you have to make sure you are producing enough. Otherwise, it's no use having the machine being idle. So your machine capacity is 100,000 units. You know you need to sell 35,000 so that you don't lose money. So your staff as a minimum must be able to sell 35,000 units. So every month is nearly 3,000 units every month. So if you are the boss, you look at the sales data, hey, you only sold 2,000 units this month. What happened? You know what I mean? You can ask these intelligent questions. So this is a calculation only. So now I will give you the formula on how to calculate this easier or easily, okay? Oh, okay, so there are always two things that we want to calculate. I want to know what is my break-even units and what is my break even in sales dollars. So to calculate my break even in units, like you correctly calculated, the formula is simply my fixed cost divided by my contribution margin per unit. Now, CM means contribution margin. VC means variable cost. SP means selling price. And FC means fixed cost. So the formula is fixed cost divided by my contribution margin per unit. It will be my break-even units. Why do I mean break-even? It is the number of units I need to sell in order that my profit is zero. Okay, that is units. Now to convert it to sales, I just take units times the selling price per unit. Or I take my fixed cost and divide it by my CM percentage. What is my CM percentage? Will be 7/15. All right, so whichever you use, they should both give you the same answer. Understand or not? Now, there's something wrong with this theoretical model. This is theory. Okay, so what is wrong is no company only sells one product. You understand what I mean? So I need to look at my entire product mix to calculate a weighted average. Yeah, I need to calculate a weighted average selling price, a weighted average variable cost, and that is how I do it. Okay, because no company only sell one product. With a single product, this is how you do it, but the concept is the same. So to extend the discussion on sales plan, always start with this first. This is the base. You cannot sell less than 35,000 units. So every month, whatever you do, you need to sell 3,000 units in the month. Means every day you must sell at least 100 units. Otherwise, something is wrong in our company. But it's average, okay? So, but you can break it down to the day if you had to do that, okay? So you can keep track of your daily sales. Yeah, that's what the owner of the business will be doing, keeping track of sale, keep track of the bank account, and keep track of the sale. You know, very important numbers, okay? Because without those two numbers, very hard to manage your business. Right? So you now learned the formula. You can Google it to learn more about it. But the reason why this is important is you know what is the minimum you need to sell so that you don't lose money. And you must know that when you're running a business. You must know how much to sell as a minimum. This is what we call minimum sale. Cannot go below. If you go below, đóng cửa, close it, go and do something else. You understand what? You must know when to leave and when to stay. Yeah, it's very normal. Yeah, if you have to, if you are going to leave, it means you are having serious problems. You're not selling the minimum amount. Yes, run out of battery. Okay. All right, so this is a very important concept. So now I'm going to give you a more realistic example. And that, if you're able to do it, that should be a good wrap up for the session today. So I'm going to show you the example. Nope, this is not the one. All right, this is an example of a company that has got 3 different products. Okay? They got 3 different products. One is a truck valve, a car valve, and a motorbike valve. So they sell valves to 3 different segments: the truck segment, the car segment, and the motorbike segment. So your job is to calculate for me the contribution margin per unit and the break even in units and sales dollars using this information and using the formula that I've just given you there, and understand how, if you change the selling price and the variable cost, how does it change the numbers that you have calculated. So this is the financial part. You must know how to calculate. Because if you don't know how to calculate, then I think it's very dangerous to be running a business. Yeah, if you don't know how to calculate, it's very dangerous to be running a business. So get some practice, okay? Get some practice, and this should not take you more than 15 minutes. Yeah, 15 minutes, you should be able to get this out. All right, you guys ready? You want to have a look at the solution? All right, let's look at the solution. Huh? If I can find it. All right, so if you look at the solution, yeah, of course you would find out this would be your answers. Can you all see that? Let me just blow it up. Huh? Yeah, this is what you should get for your break even in units and break even in dollars. Anybody did not get this? You got it? As well. How about the top? Okay, I'll take you to the top. Sorry, this is a bit too big, huh? All right, first we tried to calculate the weighted average contribution margin. All right, we'll calculate the weighted average contribution margin by the sales the product makes. All right, so this is per unit, so the weighted average works out to 2.3. All right, because this is the sales mix. Okay, so we look at it on this right side to calculate the percentage. Okay, so in percentage is 28%, in dollars is 230. All right, and then we calculate using the formula which I have on the board. If I calculate using the board in units, this is what I'll have. In both cases, my fixed cost is 10,000. I divide it by contribution margin per unit. That means I need to sell 4,348 units to break even, or I need to sell $36,000. So this one divided by this one should equal your average selling price. Yeah, so these two is just following the formulas which I've just written here. So just, you can remember the formula, you will always calculate it correctly. Now, they're telling you, the last part is what happens if you change the selling price. All right, so if you change the selling price, this is what happens. Your selling price will now change from what it was before to the new selling price. Your variable costs will change. Your contribution margin will change. So everything else will change. And then if you recalculate, you should be able to get these new numbers. All right. So I think you have a copy of this already? Do you or do you not? I believe you have. You have a copy of this solution as well. So please feel free to review the solution. If you don't understand, you can always send me an email. All right, so I think we're more or less coming to the end of this topic. So let's just review again what I said at the start. You know, every budding entrepreneur has to think beyond the idea. All right, so you have an idea, you put some intelligence into it, you have to learn. After that, you need to invest. When you come to the course on corporate finance, we teach you specifically how to evaluate a good or a bad investment. I should not be teaching that to you today. So hopefully, I will have a chance to teach you that later. If I did, then we will learn in that topic how to evaluate investment, and we teach you some investment techniques. All right, we'll teach you some investment techniques like weighted average cost of capital, IRR, NPV, payback. These are the things that will come in handy when you do your thesis defense later, right? And then we talked about implementation. Implementation is a lot about planning. Yeah, planning how you are going to execute, because many people can plan but cannot do. So to bridge the divide or bridge the gap between plan and do, your planning must be very realistic, must be achievable. Don't set your sights too high and it's not realistic. You understand what I mean? Everybody has got goals, but make them realistic. Yeah, or it's got to be reasonable. You know, you can aim for the sky, but at least try to land on the clouds. Okay, so this is what we did a session on sales planning. We taught you something about break-even analysis, because all these things are just ways to bulletproof your business. So as the owner, you need to know these things. Otherwise, you risk not only getting out of business, but more importantly, you losing your money. You're losing the time that you may have invested. And it happens a lot. Yeah. Many people, they are successful employees, but they end up being unsuccessful entrepreneurs. And the opposite also. Some very unsuccessful employees become very successful entrepreneurs. So to end this class, I wish all of you to become very successful entrepreneurs. And if you need any guidance or assistance, you feel free to contact me. Okay? Otherwise, well, you can find my contact number. You know? Otherwise, it has been a pleasure to teach you guys today, and I wish you all the best. And as the gentleman earlier told you, you're here just to learn tools and techniques. Don't be a textbook manager. Yeah. So please sometimes use your natural intelligence until artificial intelligence will take over. Thank you very much. You have any questions? I'm very happy to answer it. Any questions? Yeah, you had a question? No question? Somebody asked me about my contact number. No problem. I can give you my email. My email is mm8167@gmail.com. All right, I repeat, mm8167@gmail.com. If you think that email is a big problem and you need instant result or quick result, you can also call me on my cell phone or my mobile phone, or you can add me on Zalo and send me a text message, no problem. Yeah, WhatsApp, yeah, WhatsApp or Zalo. 0767-540-577. So once again, thank you very much. I hope you learned something. Otherwise, if you want to learn more, there are many other ways. You can send me an email or send me a text message, okay? Otherwise, thank you very much.